Have you ever wondered what it would be like to raise a dragon? Not the kind from ancient legends, but a real one. A creature that begins as something small, curious, and harmless, but grows into something powerful enough to dominate the skies. This is the story of a mysterious night dragon. And what happened when someone tried to raise it like a normal pet? It all started on a quiet night. The forest was silent, the air was cool, and the moonlight filtered through the tall trees. At first, nothing seemed unusual. But then, something moved in the shadows. Two glowing blue eyes slowly appeared in the darkness. Hidden behind a small rock was a tiny creature. A dragon, not a massive fire-breathing monster, but a baby, no bigger than a small cat. Its wings were tiny, its claws were small, and its large glowing eyes watched everything carefully. At first, the dragon was cautious. It didn't trust humans, but curiosity is powerful. Slowly, it stepped forward. Instead of attacking or running away, the little dragon simply sniffed the air. It tilted its head, studying everything around it. And that was the moment a terrible idea was born. Instead of leaving the creature in the wild, the decision was made to raise it. At the beginning, everything seemed easy. The mysterious night dragon behaved almost like a normal pet. It followed its new owner everywhere. If the owner walked across the room, the dragon walked behind. If the owner sat down, the dragon curled up beside them. It was playful, curious, and surprisingly gentle. But there was one problem. The dragon was growing, and it was growing fast. Every day, its wings stretched wider. Its claws became sharper. Its strength increased in ways no one expected. At first, it was the size of a cat, then the size of a dog. Soon, it was much larger. Furniture started moving when its tail brushed against it. Doors felt smaller, rooms felt tighter. The dragon didn't mean to cause problems. It was simply growing into what nature intended. But keeping a dragon inside a house was becoming impossible. So the next step was obvious. The dragon needed to experience the outside world. The first place it visited was a park. The moment its claws touched the grass, something changed. The dragon ran across the open field, flapping its wings excitedly. It chased birds through the air. It rolled across the grass. It explored every tree and every path with endless curiosity. People began to notice. Some stared in confusion. Others pulled out their phones. Some thought it was a robot. Others believed it was some kind of advanced visual effect. But the mysterious night dragon didn't care about attention. It was too busy discovering the world. Days passed. Weeks passed. And the dragon kept growing. Its wingspan expanded dramatically. Its muscles became stronger. Its presence became impossible to ignore. Soon the dragon was larger than any dog, larger than most animals people had ever seen. At that point, it became clear. This creature could no longer live a normal life, so a difficult decision had to be made. The mysterious night dragon was moved to a large wildlife reserve, a place filled with powerful animals, a place with enough space to move freely. At first, the other animals were curious, then cautious. A lion approached the edge of its territory, slow steps, low growls, eyes locked on the dragon. The lion had never backed down from anything. But the dragon did something unexpected. It didn't roar. It didn't attack. It simply stood still, calm, silent, watching. Then it took one single step forward. That was enough. The lion stopped immediately. Something instinctive told it not to continue. Next came the tigers, faster, more aggressive, used to dominating their territory. They circled slowly, growling louder. But the dragon responded differently. It slowly unfolded one massive wing, just enough to reveal its size, just enough to shift the balance of power. The growling stopped. The circling ended. Even the tigers understood. Then came the bears, massive creatures known for their incredible strength. One bear stood upright and roared loudly. The ground seemed to vibrate from the sound, but the mysterious night dragon remained calm. For a moment, there was silence. Then the dragon released a deep, controlled growl. Not loud, not explosive, just powerful. The kind of sound that travels through your chest. The bear slowly lowered itself back down. From that moment forward, something changed in the reserve. The dragon was no longer just another animal. It had become something more. Where the dragon walked, other animals moved away. Where it stood, silence followed. It had become the apex creature. But even this large reserve had a problem. Visitors began arriving in huge numbers. Cameras flashed constantly. Crowds gathered around. People wanted to see the dragon that ruled the reserve. At first, the dragon tolerated the attention, but day after day, the noise never stopped. Lights, voices, crowds pressing closer. The dragon stopped sleeping deeply. It started pacing. It often looked up toward the sky for long periods of time, almost like it was remembering something it had never experienced. Freedom. And one night, everything changed. The dragon growled, not with anger, but with frustration. The structure around its enclosure vibrated. Dust fell from the metal beams. The dragon spread its massive wings. For the first time, there was not enough space to contain them. One powerful wing beat shook the entire structure, then another. Cracks began forming along the walls. Glass shattered, metal twisted. Animals across the reserve panicked. People ran for the exits. And then, the wall collapsed. For the first time in its life, the mysterious night dragon was no longer contained. Dust filled the air. Silence followed. The dragon crouched low to the ground. Wings spread wide. Muscles tensed. Then it launched into the sky. The ground shook as the massive creature lifted into the air, higher than the reserve, higher than the surrounding forests, higher than the mountains beyond the horizon. For the first time, there were no walls, no cages, no limits. The dragon flew above cities where people stopped and stared, above oceans, where its shadow moved across the water, above the clouds where the sky stretched endlessly. The mysterious night dragon was never meant to be a pet. It was never meant to live behind walls. It was meant for the sky. And somewhere high above the clouds, the dragon finally became what it was always destined to be: free.